Hey everyone, before we dive in, do me a quick favor and smash that subscribe button so you never miss a story like this one. My phone lit up with a text from my own family. We need space from you. Please don't reach out anymore. At all. Just those few icy words glowing on the screen like an emergency flare in the dark. I was standing in the middle of my little apartment, and the quiet that followed felt heavier than any screaming match we'd ever had. Instead of pleading, instead of falling apart, I typed back the most peaceful sentence I've ever sent. They had no clue how expensive that moment was about to get for them. Before I get into the rest, drop a like and tell me what city you're watching from. I love knowing who's here with me. Hey, I'm Ava Reynolds. For pretty much my whole life, I've been the person everyone quietly handed their problems to, like I was a human lost and found. I handle payroll at a big clinic downtown. My whole world runs on spreadsheets, deadlines, and keeping everything in perfect order. My apartment looks exactly like that. Warm lamps, spotless counters, receipts sorted by color in a drawer that sticks when it rains. Nothing flashy, just calm and steady. And in my family, steady has always meant one thing. I foot the bill. My mom, Susan, loves repeating, family takes care of family, usually while she's drying a dish and letting out one of those long sighs that finishes the sentence for her. My dad, Tom, goes straight for the guilt. Long speeches about loyalty and how he didn't raise me to keep score with blood relatives. Then there's my little sister, Chloe, 3 years younger and 1,000 times louder. Growing up, she could walk into any room and own it. New boots, fresh highlights, brand new crisis. She nicknamed me ATM Girl, half teasing, half dagger, 100% useful when she needed first and last or another car note covered. Every time I tried to push back, the whole family choir kicked in. Don't be so dramatic. You know Chloe can't do it on her own. You're the responsible one. Even cousins and aunts piled on. The group chat was nonstop pics, memes, and life updates until money came up. Then every tone changed, reminding me how much mom and dad sacrificed, how Chloe deserved a little help, and how I'd be making everything awkward if I didn't step up. They never once asked what my own budget looked like, or how many corners I cut just to keep them floating. In all that chaos, the only person who never used me was my Uncle Mark. He owns a small moving company across town, the kind of work that leaves you with strong arms and zero tolerance for nonsense. He never asked for a dime, never hinted. He just watched. I didn't know yet how much that quiet watching would matter later. For years, I convinced myself this was normal. Every family has roles, right? Mine just cast me as the emergency fund. I told myself it wasn't personal. But every time I opened my banking app and watched my own dreams shrink so theirs could grow, something inside me twisted a little tighter. Then came the night everything snapped. The night that cold text showed up, feeling less like a message and more like a slammed door. The days right before it had felt off. Little moments that should have rolled off me but stuck like sand in a cut. It started as usual with Chloe. She rolled into mom and dad's place wearing a brand new coat, tag still folded in the sleeve, and casually mentioned the much safer apartment she had her eye on. She didn't even look at me when she said, "You'll cover the deposit, right, ATM girl?" Like she was asking for extra soy sauce. I said no. Not yelling, not dramatic, just a calm, practiced no. Mom froze mid-dish. Dad let out that slow, disappointed breath that always meant the lecture was loading. Chloe just smirked. It's not that serious. I left early, sat in my car with the heater clicking, wondering why a simple boundary felt like betrayal. 2 days later, the real gut punch came. My desk phone rang at work. I picked up with my professional voice, and it was mom and dad's landlord, all chipper, thanking me for reversing a late fee on their rent and confirming the auto pay was still coming from my account. Then he mentioned how my parents had given him my work email and schedule, so he could catch me at a good time. I stared at the blurry office art on the wall while heat crawled up my face. They hadn't just taken my money. They'd walked right into my job and handed out my personal info like candy. That same evening, I drove straight to their building. The hallway smelled like bleach and old pizza. I sat them down, mom and dad on the couch I'd paid for, Chloe leaning in the doorway, and finally said the sentence I'd rehearsed for years. I deserve to know exactly what I'm paying for. Mom's face went hard. We feel attacked. Dad crossed his arms. Save that tone for your coworkers. Chloe laughed. Should we tip you now? It wasn't even a fight, just casual cruelty, muscle memory. I left mid-sentence. The next afternoon, the group chat pinged with the message that ended everything. We need distance from you. Please stop contacting us completely. Something inside me didn't shatter. It locked into place. I sat on my bed staring at the screen until it went dark. No tears, no rage, just ice-cold clarity. If this is the space they wanted, I was about to give them miles of it. An hour later, my phone buzzed. Uncle Mark. I'm at your parents' place, he said, voice low. They asked me to help them pack. I thought I misheard. Pack what? Everything. They're moving out. Of course they were. Cutting me off wasn't enough. They were erasing themselves from my life completely. Like I was an overdue bill they were dodging. Mark added quietly, I'll make sure anything with your name on it comes back to you. He didn't pick sides, he just told the truth. And hearing him standing there boxing up their lives hit harder than the text. That night I pulled out every color-coded receipt I'd saved for years. Rent, electric, car insurance, medical, phones, groceries. All the invisible wires I'd used to hold their world together. I spread them across the floor like evidence. Green for housing, yellow for utilities, blue for transportation, red for medical, purple for random stuff they swore they'd pay back. For the first time, I let myself see it plain. This wasn't help. This was me being the foundation of a house that never built a room for me. The truth didn't crush me, it untied me. My boyfriend Jordan came over. He didn't knock loud, just one soft tap and walked in like he already knew the air was fragile. They texted you, he said. Not a question. I handed him the phone. He read it, jaw tight, eyes gentle. You don't deserve this. I exhaled like someone finally cut a rope around my lungs. I'm done, I told him. He sat on the floor with me among the receipts. Then let's start here. Show me what you've been carrying. I handed him the green stack first. The next morning I told my therapist, Dr. Lena, everything. She listened, then said the sentence I'd needed permission to hear my whole life. Ava, stopping financial entanglement isn't abandonment. It's survival. By the time I walked out of her office, my hands weren't shaking anymore. I knew exactly what had to happen next. I didn't send anything that night. I slept with my phone face down and on silent for the first time in years. Morning came, and the group chat was a war zone of missed messages. Chloe had started it, naturally. Where are you? Why are you ignoring us? Mom, you're being dramatic again. Then, fine, we'll figure it out without you. I scrolled back to their original text, stopped contacting us completely, and almost laughed at the hypocrisy. I laid the receipt stacks on my kitchen table, took clear photos of each category, and typed one calm message. I'm respecting your request for no contact. Attached is a summary of every payment I've been covering. These all end on the circled dates. Please move the accounts and leases into your own names within 30 days. I'll be canceling my direct deposits today. I attached the photos, sent them one by one, then added, of course, the auto pay stopped first thing this morning. 2 minutes of silence. Then the meltdown began. Mom, Ava, what is this supposed to mean? Dad, money isn't family. Don't weaponize it. Chloe, you're literally sick. You did this to humiliate us. Aunties, uncles, cousins all jumping in, typing bubbles everywhere. Mom again, we meant space from your attitude, not from you. I replied once. Your message said stop contacting completely. I'm doing exactly that. Dad sent a giant run-on paragraph of rage and guilt. I didn't answer. Chloe tried the scare tactic. I can't afford to move right now. I'll be in a bad neighborhood. Happy if something happens to me. I wrote back, I hope you stay safe. But your lifestyle isn't my responsibility anymore. Calls started blowing up my phone. Mom, Dad, Chloe, one after another until I switched on Do Not Disturb. Later that evening, Uncle Mark showed up with 3 boxes. They tried to rush me out, he said. Told me not to worry about anything that wasn't theirs. But I grabbed everything with your name on it. Inside, brand new towels still in plastic. a blender I'd bought them for Christmas, a Wi-Fi router they never bothered to set up. Little gifts I'd given to make their lives easier, forgotten in a closet. Mark looked at me and said quietly, "You did way more than they ever admitted. Don't let them twist this now." Something twisted anyway, but it was grief for the version of family I'd been clinging to, not for losing them. Back in the group chat, the tone flipped from fury to begging. Classic. "Mom, please don't do this. Your dad isn't sleeping. Dad, I work my whole life. You owe me respect. Chloe, if you cancel the phone plan, how am I supposed to call work or 911? I answered only once. I'm not discussing money anymore. Then Chloe again. I just don't understand why you're so cold now. I wrote, "You told me not to contact you. I'm doing what you asked." No one replied. The quiet was so loud I could hear my own fridge humming. Midnight rolled around and the extended family cavalry arrived. "Aunt Mara, we never thought you'd act like this, Ava. Cousin Blair, this is extreme. Another cousin. Family sacrifices for each other." I didn't argue. I just attached a simple PDF, budget templates, rental assistance contacts, utility company phone numbers, everything they'd need to stand on their own. At the bottom I wrote, "You're capable. You always have been." Then I went to bed. At 2 a.m. one last text from Mom, private. "If you do this, you're dead to me." I stared at it for a long time, not because it hurt, but because it didn't. "I'm sorry you feel that way," I replied, and turned the phone face down. The next morning the group chat was silent for the first time in years. I made coffee, sat at my little table, and didn't brace for the next crisis. I logged in, changed every password, removed my card from every shared account, canceled every autopay. Each confirmation email felt like snipping a rope that had been choking me for years. That week I told Dr. Lena I felt lighter and terrified at the same time. She smiled and said, "Peace can feel dangerous when you're used to living in a storm." Jordan came over that night with takeout and zero pressure. He just sat next to me on the couch, knee touching mine, and said, "I'm proud of you." For once, I actually believed someone. In the weeks after, my life didn't get louder, it got clearer. I grocery shopped without waiting for someone to ask for cash. I cooked dinner without the phone buzzing. The quiet stopped feeling empty and started feeling like freedom. I learned that love without respect isn't love, and boundaries aren't cruel, they're oxygen. If you've ever had to walk away from people you love, just to save yourself, drop your story in the comments. And if this one hit home, hit subscribe so you're here for the next one. I'll see you there.